Yeah, we would.
We probably should, just,
So
probably should.
if we take option 2 under 3/1/2016, if we assume I'll call it worst case, and we've already said Montessori's, all that is done. So with all that, we have a surplus of $188,000. So if we choose to instead of 1.5, it's going to be 1.25. Is that what I heard? As an option, right? So that would mean $250,000, so we'd be a negative on that, right? Which, if you want to consider the full value, I'll call it, the non-conservative, or the conservative approach, which we've been on it for a while. If we choose not to go to the index, we have a negative balance. I don't know, 120, something like that. I'm just throwing it out, that's all.
As I understand, you need to make a motion to eliminate all that.
Why don't we do that?
Let's,
How about if we do the motion to eliminate the all-ed and the administrative and support positions? Let's get that.
I move to eliminate the alternate ed.
Second.
And support staff and administration at 220.
Okay, and we have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Aliota, did you hear that? Okay.
No, you want to repeat the motion, please?
Sure.
The motion was to eliminate the alt ed program as well as the support staff / administration.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm at a disadvantage since I don't have the document that has been presented this evening.
It's in your email.
It's in the email.
We're looking at the chart that was emailed to us.
I think it came last.
I sent it on Friday.
Let me pull it up.
Okay, so we're waiting, we're gonna vote on that.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to do 125 over here? 1.25?
Well, let's look at the number first before we do that. Once we got over to the option D, we can compare the two and then somebody make a motion.
Talk about the 2.9%.
No.
No, I believe the motion, Mr. Aliota, is examining the alt ed program at a cost of $809,000 and the support staff / administration at $220,000. The motion is to eliminate those two items from the proposed final budget.
It was an
So
Excel
we're not
spreadsheet.
going to be voting on a tax increase, we're going to be doing it by elimination of programs.
That's
Right
next.
now.
That's next. We're working our way back.
So you're eliminating, the motion is to eliminate the alternative ed program. And
And 2 secretaries and a principal.
Support staff and administration on that spreadsheet.
okay,
Okay?
okay, thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
So, I guess can I just make one comment that before we go on to the big ticket item of the taxes here is, doing the proposed final still does not lock that into our tax rate. We have a timeline that we will have to publicly advertise that on the PDE form 2028. So a general idea, it doesn't, you're not making the decision right now of what taxes are going to be, is what I'm trying to say. Is if we have another month, 6 weeks that we can kind of move in that direction and kind of figure out where you want to be as far as raising taxes are concerned. Because when you lock in that tax rate, it's on the final, not the proposed final. If, still, proposed final needs to be approved in the next week or so, and then the final needs to be approved at the end of May, which determines the actual tax rate. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that this isn't saying this is what the rate is. You're kind of giving me, if you want, I could go back and I could try to put together the budget and the proposed final and tell you this is the tax rate that I used. I would like to have some sort of guidance as to a general idea where you want to be.
Well, it sounds like you want to be between the 1 million and possibly a little bit higher,
In between $15 and $40.
okay? $25.
Now, option 4 is the 15, correct? That's
Right now,
Okay.
that's based on that $1 million will raise it 15. So that's a good point, that Aaron, you know, we're not voting on a final budget, okay? You're giving us direction on a general idea of how much to raise the taxes.
So,
And we still have a month to,
so we're gonna have a motion and an acceptance today of a number,
a plan.
a tax increase number, percentage, dollar amount, whatever. And then in a week, we're gonna come back and he's gonna have all the paperwork done, and we're gonna say yes. But at that point, it's still proposed, Aaron, right?
yeah,
In a week, it's still proposed.
Correct.
So the end of May,
At the May board meeting would be the
that's it.
final.
So in between those two dates, next week or later this week, and the end of May, the meeting in May, we have time to,
You could still be massaged a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
and come back and say,
Yes,
oh gee, we
yes.
don't really only need $30 to do that instead of 40.
Right.
or 100,000.
And I don't, I mean, again, I don't even think we have to vote on anything. I think it's just give me some general direction, because you're gonna vote on the proposed final, right? And this is roughly where you want the taxes to be. I can go back and, again, it's not, that change of 2.6 million to the 1.8 isn't 100% aggressive revenue. I mean, it is a little bit of expenditures mixed in with that as well. So I could, when I go to bring back the proposed final, I'll give you a large presentation of what is the total budget makeup, and go from there.
so you just need a consensus tonight?
It would kind of, right.
let me put a suggestion out there. You might not like this, but why don't we stick to the million for what he's gonna calculate? You can approve it, and then we can continue to dialogue about the comfort level with aggressiveness, and maybe you wanna bump it up a little bit before the final in May.
I agree.
I mean, at least that way, we're sticking to the same numbers, and,
Yes.
Okay.
is that,
Yeah,
okay?
I'll make a motion for option 4.
for the million, well, let's
you
keep
want
with
a
the
motion?
tax.
We don't need one.
We don't need a vote,
Oh,
we just need
okay,
a
then-
consensus, right?
Okay, I thought
Is
you were.
everybody?
Okay?
Okay,
All right.
Yes.
that
That
wraps it up.
works. Yeah.
So essentially, we just cut 1.4 million, and now we can sit back for a second?
Till Monday. Not.
Yeah, don't get too
I sit for a
Then we
minute.
got a week.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna stick with 1 mil for now, and, go from there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
I do appreciate the.
Thank you, Aaron, for that.
Thank you, Mr.
That's
Saul.
all. Going forward. Okay, so,
New business.
new business, any new business?
I do have one thing.
Yes, sir.
New business. As the board knows, we were contacted by Tom Osiki a couple weeks ago, who's putting together a Mill Creek Voice newspaper. He'd asked for articles. I put an article together that went up in the Times News that I gave to Tom to put in here. Long story short, I've met with Tom, and he has asked, there's a part of this newspaper where they put together a form, and I think it's a pretty good idea. It's a good form where anybody in the public can pull this form out and write their name, and basically it would go out to the legislators or the governor asking for to fix the flood funding formula, adequately fund Pennsylvania education, correct the flood charter and cider school funding formula, and correct the flood PACERS retirement system. So he has asked if I would be willing, or if we as a district would be willing to help distribute this as a part of